everybody, and thank you so much for joining me tonight at City Craft Club. We are going to be sublimating kitchen towels. I've already made a host of different designs and patterns and fun colors for myself, for my own kitchen, for friends, for family, and honestly, it's among the easiest sublimation crafts to do, despite the fact that it looks a lot more tricky than it actually is. You will, of course, need a sublimatable towel. And a sublimatable towel is not necessarily just any towel. It has to have some sort of polyester coating, or at least 65% polyester. The towels that I use are from Amazon. They come in a multi-pack, so it keeps the cost down. And as you can see, they're super vivid and bright when you sublimate on them. They're actually designed specifically for sublimation, so I would highly recommend these. I will, as always, link these below. The next thing you'll need is, of course, a sublimation printer or any sort of Epson printer or other printer that you have converted into a sublimation printer. The next thing you'll need, of course, is sublimation paper. You will also need sublimation ink. You'll also need either a tape measure or a ruler. The next thing you'll need is some sort of design program. I actually like to use Canva for this, primarily because Canva has a zillion different fun patterns, which I find are best for these towels when you have sort of a repeating pattern. And finally, you will need a heat press. A Cricut Easy Press will do. Any other brand of heat press will do, as long as it covers at least 8.5 by 11 inches. I have, as always, linked each of the products, tools, materials, and programs that we will be using in this project in the video description below. So without further ado, let's head on over to Canva and check out our designs and size our image for our tea towel. Go to canva.com. If you do not have an account already, definitely sign up. It's free to join. And I'm just going to log in. So once you've logged in, this is your home screen. Go up to the upper right-hand corner, press Create a Design, and then go down here where it says Custom Size. Click on that, and then we are going to want to change the pixels to inches. So for this particular project, we just want our image to fill an entire US letter size sheet of paper. So for that, we're going to do 8.5 inches for the width, and then the height is going to be 11 inches. Then once you've entered these numbers, press Create New Design. From here, we have a brand new, fresh tabula rasa for our next step, which is to choose our design. I like to go to Elements on the left-hand side. And then from here, you can literally search whatever type of image or pattern that you want. What I like to do is to think of a theme. So for example, if I'm going to do something cat related, I would write cat, and then I like to follow that keyword with the word pattern. And then press enter. Go to where it says graphics, press see all, and voila, you have an endless assortment of cat patterns to choose from. I do find that patterns are really ideal for towels just because they cover the whole towel and it just looks a lot more professional, in my opinion, than just having one image. Of course, if you do just want one image, you can do that too, but here, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Do any of you guys have Sphinx cats? I think they're the cutest things. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, I love this. Oh, so cute. I love that. So my boyfriend actually does not like Sphinx cats, so I'm not going to go with that one. Let's see if there's something a little more conventional that I can choose. I really like this one. It's super simple, minimalistic, and we have the ability to change the color of the cats. My kitchen is blue and pink, so I am going to choose a fun, bright cerulean blue to complement my kitchen. Now, you can either stretch out your image so it's sort of more of a large format, or you could size it down if you wanted a smaller format pattern, copy it, so Command C if you're on Mac, paste it, Command V if you're on Mac, and then simply align the pattern together so that the cats meet up and it looks like one seamless image. And then you would just click, drag, copy, paste, and continue that pattern along the entire 8.5 by 11 sheet. Once you're happy with your towel image, press the upper right-hand corner where it says share. Scroll down to where it says download. You don't need to do anything here. You want a PNG image because that's high quality and that will look great and nice and sharp on your sublimation. So just press download. Wait a few seconds. And lickety split, you will have your beautiful sublimation image ready to go and ready to print. So I'm going to open mine. All right, so this is what it looks like. And from here, I am simply going to press File, press Print. So once you have your print screen dialog box pulled up, just make sure that all the settings are correct and that, of course, you are selecting the correct printer. I have a zillion different printers for crafting, so I always like to just triple check that I actually selected the sublimation printer. And then as far as presets, I like to select photo on matte paper. That generally gives me a higher quality image.
And then we'll want to print out 2 copies of this image so we can have one for either side of the towel.
And then all of this stuff is kind of already set for you. The pages, printing in color, of course, paper size, triple check that, 8.5 by 11, perfect. Orientation, you want this to be portrait. And then here is where it's sort of up to you, but I love to do the scale to fit option and press fill entire paper. I find that that gives me more image for my paper, bang for my buck, if you will. So media and quality, definitely select best quality. Layout should be pretty much set up for you, but if you are using an image for sublimation that has, for example, a phrase or a word or letters on it, and ostensibly you want it to be the right way around, you can scroll down here to where it says flip horizontally and just toggle that on. And as you can see in the preview, it is flipping my little cats over to the other side. If you are creating a design that has words, letters, phrases, definitely make sure that your image is mirrored in some way. All of this looks good. And now all we have to do is press print.
Okay, so now that we have printed out our design, we are going to get down to business with our towel itself. So like I said, I absolutely adore this specific sublimation friendly towel. It comes in a pack of 6. I've just grabbed one of them, of course, and we're going to unfurl it such that it's just lying flat. So I can show you the fold lines, which of course are natural from being folded up for quite some time in transit. So we want to get rid of these lines because sublimation works best on a nice, flat, even surface. We want to get rid of, in order to press these lines out and create a nice, smooth, flat surface, we are going to use, of course, heat, right? So just imagine ironing. I mean, honestly, you could just iron this if you wanted to. In order to press these lines out, and what I'm going to do is a process known as pre-pressing, which, as it sounds, is just pressing your material prior to actually sublimating it. So I'm going to turn on my heat press. I'm going to put my towel underneath my heat press and clamp it down and just hold it there for about 10 to 20 seconds such that the lines in this material are removed. In addition to removing these fold lines and creating a nice smooth surface, pre-pressing can also remove any potential excess moisture that's present in the material that you're sublimating. Let's go on over to our heat presses or iron or whatever you're using and pre-press this fabric. Okay, so I've removed my towel from the heat press. It's nice and smooth. We've also removed any excess moisture that may have been present. Grab both of your printed out identical towel designs and just whichever one you want to start with, doesn't matter because they're identical, of course. We are going to place it design side down onto the towel. I'm just going to rotate this view so you can see what I'm doing in terms of spacing a little bit more clearly. This is, of course, the short end of the towel, and we want to get the design in the center. You could just eyeball it, which is what I like to do, or if you want to be a little more precise, grab your handy tape measure, measure the length of the towel, and for me that's going to be 15.5 inches. So in order to find the midpoint of the towel or the center, of course, just divide 15.5 or however much yours is by 2. I'm just going to kind of mark it with my finger so I know exactly where it is, and then just grab your paper and shift it to the center of the towel. So I just wanted to note, I did notice a little black smudge on the corner from printing, And I definitely want to get rid of that because if I don't, then this smudged ink will transfer onto my towel. So I'm just going to rip off the corner very carefully, ensuring I'm not ripping into the actual design itself, of course. Next, we're going to grab our heat-resistant tape and quickly double check that our design is the correct way around. We do not want it to be upside down, of course. And then just unfurl our tape, snip some off, and then simply tape the edge of the paper completely flush and straight to the edge of the towel. Press it down so it's nice and secure, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other 3 edges of our paper. So now that this side is nice and securely placed down, we're simply going to flip our towel around and do the exact same thing on the other side using our second design. And this is what it will look like once you're done. Of course, double check that everything's the right way around, and then grab your plain printer paper. We're going to be using this as protective paper over top of either side of our towel, just to ensure that the ink doesn't bleed out onto our towel or onto our heat press during the sublimation process. Grab your heat-resistant tape again and simply roughly tape these sheets of paper down just so they don't shift around. Next, grab your heat-resistant gloves and let's head on over to the heat press. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my heat press and set it to 380 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a great temperature for this particular project. For me, with my specific heat press, it takes about 20 minutes for it to reach 380 degrees. I'm just using a quick pressing pillow here, but you definitely don't need to. And once it's heated up to 380 degrees, simply slide one side of your towel underneath. Press down. Again, you can use any sort of heat press with this. At medium pressure is what I like to do. Wait for 50 seconds, that is 50 seconds. Then release the heat press. And do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So that's 380 degrees at 50 seconds. Going to remove it from the heat press very carefully, and then simply remove the paper from the towel to reveal our beautiful design. For the grand reveal. I am very happy with how mine turned out. As you can see, it has nice crisp lines on the design. The colors are nice and bold and vibrant. I sincerely hope that yours turned out just as well, exactly as you wanted it to. If, of course, you had any issues during the process, if I could have explained something a little more clearly, please do let me know below in the comments. I am more than happy to chat sublimation, all things crafting, anytime. So please do let me know.